of Lalibela, a monument to rare devotion.
This morning, a first look at a stunning discovery on Easter Island, one of the most remote inhabited islands in the world.
Now, a new analysis shows that the 6-ton iconic altar stone at the heart of Stonehenge originated from northeastern Scotland rather than southwest Wales.
What if I told you there are ancient structures so precise, so massive, that even modern scientists can't fully explain them? Stones weighing over 100 tons, mysterious magnetic fields, perfectly interlocking blocks, and massive carvings hidden underwater. These buildings push the boundaries of what we thought ancient people could do. From Bolivia's baffling Puma Punku to Japan's eerie Yonaguni Monument and England's Stonehenge, these sites hold secrets that defy logic. How did they build them? And what terrifying mysteries are still buried within their stones? Let's find out. Section 1. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. What if I told you that the oldest known temple on Earth was built long before humanity had even learned to make pottery? Göbekli Tepe, located in southeastern Turkey, is just that. A stone complex constructed an incredible 12,000 years ago, long before the dawn of farming or civilization as we know it. This ancient site predates Stonehenge by 6,000 years and is so advanced that its construction raises more questions than it answers. Göbekli Tepe consists of a series of massive stone circles, with each one formed by towering T-shaped pillars, some of which weigh over 20 tons. These pillars weren't just arranged haphazardly, they were meticulously carved with depictions of animals like lions, boars, and snakes, as well as strange symbols whose meanings remain unknown. But what kind of society 12,000 years ago could have had the tools, knowledge, and organization to accomplish such a feat? The stones are positioned with a precision that suggests a deep understanding of engineering, a skill that seems impossibly advanced for people who were supposedly still hunter-gatherers. Here's something even more fascinating. Recent findings suggest that Göbekli Tepe may have also served as a social gathering spot, not just a religious or ritualistic site. Archaeologists have discovered large quantities of animal bones around the pillars, indicating that communal feasts took place here. This wasn't just a place of worship, it was a place where people gathered, ate, and perhaps even performed ceremonies together, making it the world's oldest known community center. And then there's one final mystery. Around 8,000 years ago, Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried under layers of earth, as if those who once revered it were determined to erase it from existence. Why would anyone go to such lengths to conceal a site so sacred? Was it an attempt to protect something dangerous, or a desperate measure to keep a secret hidden from future eyes? We may never know. But whoever buried Göbekli Tepe wanted it forgotten, as if the stones themselves held a truth too dark for the world to remember. Section 2. Sacsayhuaman, Peru. High in the Andes near Cusco, Peru, lies Sacsayhuaman, an ancient fortress that defies explanation. At first, it might look like a regular stone wall, but get close, and you'll see something astonishing. The massive stones, some weighing up to 200 tons, are fitted together so perfectly that not even a knife blade can slip between them. And here's the eerie part. They did it all without mortar. These stones are held together only by their fit, something that shouldn't be possible without modern tools. Each stone is shaped differently, with edges that look like they were cut by machines. These are not ordinary building blocks. They're complex, interlocking pieces that fit together with unbelievable precision. But how? How could the Incas have shaped and placed stones this massive with such perfect alignment, especially in an age without steel tools or machinery? Some believe the Incas had lost technology that allowed them to cut and move these stones as if by magic. A few experts think they might have used gravity and sand to slide them perfectly into place, but even that doesn't fully explain it. And then there are the legends, stories that tell of a strange plant or liquid that could soften stone, allowing the Incas to mold these blocks like clay. Science has never found proof of such a substance, but the stories refuse to die. So what was really at work here? Advanced technology, ancient secrets, or something we just can't understand? For centuries, the stones of Sacsayhuaman have withstood earthquakes, weather, and time itself, challenging us to solve a mystery that might never have an answer. Section 3. Puma Punku, Bolivia. Picture massive stones weighing over 100 tons, crafted to fit together with exact precision. No mortar, no modern tools, just flawless engineering. This is Pumapunku in Bolivia, a site that has left archaeologists with more questions than answers. Without trees for wood rollers and given the altitude's harsh environment, how did they transport these massive stones? This remains one of history's most enduring puzzles. Pumapunku's stones are not only massive but meticulously crafted. Some stones interlock with each other with such exactitude that a razor blade can't slip between them. The angular cuts, smooth surfaces, and perfectly drilled holes suggest a level of technological sophistication that would be hard to replicate even with modern tools. What's even stranger is that these stones, known as diorite and andesite, are incredibly hard and require tools tougher than iron to shape. The closest quarry is more than 50 miles away, meaning these massive rocks would have had to be transported over considerable distances and elevated terrain. How such a feat was managed without any kind of metal or industrial technology continues to elude historians. One of the more recent and fascinating discoveries at Pumapunku involves magnetism. Some of the stones appear to have magnetic properties, leading researchers to wonder if these ancient builders may have somehow utilized magnetism to maneuver the blocks. Could they have possessed an understanding of magnetism far beyond what we credit them with? This discovery has led to various theories, from ideas about lost civilizations with forgotten technologies to hypotheses about potential extraterrestrial assistance. No clear answers have been found, but the mystery of Pumapunku grows deeper with every discovery. Section 4. Stonehenge, England. Imagine trying to move a 25-ton stone across 150 miles without wheels or machinery, just ropes, manpower, and sheer will. That's the puzzle of Stonehenge, a structure so astonishing in its complexity that it still defies explanation. This circle of massive stones has stood on the plains of England for 5,000 years, yet no one knows exactly how it got there or why. Imagine dragging stones the size of small trucks across rugged land without roads, only to place them with near-perfect precision. Even today, it would take heavy machinery to pull off such a feat. So, what did these builders know that we don't? The stones of Stonehenge aren't just arranged randomly. They're aligned precisely with the summer and winter solstices, creating a direct link to the sun's rise and fall on the longest and shortest days of the year. This suggests Stonehenge was more than just a monument. It might have been an early observatory, tracking the movement of the sun. But for what purpose? Some think it was a place for rituals or a center for healing, but none of these theories fully explain the mystery of why it was built, or why people would go to such extremes to make it happen. Adding to the intrigue, recent research has traced one of the stones, the altar stone, back to northern Scotland. If true, this means ancient builders may have transported stones from even further away, crossing rivers, hills, and possibly even seas. Why would Neolithic communities go to such lengths? The idea that people from distant regions of Britain connected to create Stonehenge suggests something more complex, a vast network. Knowledge we don't fully understand, or maybe a purpose that's still hidden from us. Section 5. Nan Madol, Micronesia. Did ancient beings leave a hidden mark on Earth? Or did a lost civilization possess knowledge that defies all logic? Deep in the Pacific, off the coast of Micronesia, lies Nan Madol, a network of massive stone structures that looks like it was built by forces beyond human understanding. This ancient city, sprawled over 92 artificial islets and crisscrossed by narrow channels, sits isolated on coral reefs. But here's the catch. The stones that make up Nan Madol weigh up to 50 tons each. How on earth could a civilization over 1,000 years ago lift and arrange these stones with nothing more than primitive tools? Theories run wild, from local legends of dark sorcery to whispers of lost technology. Locals claim that the city was built by powerful sorcerers who commanded the stones to move at their will. Scientists attempting to ground the story suggest levers and ramps may have been used, but nothing explains the full scale and precision of Nan Madol's construction. Could the rulers of Nan Madol, the mysterious Saudeleur dynasty, have mastered techniques lost to time? Or, as some believe, were they tapping into forces that modern science can't even begin to grasp? Even more unsettling is the purpose of this city. Unlike other ancient sites, Nan Madol wasn't a center for trade or farming. Its eerie layout hints at something far stranger, a place for rituals, a fortress for the elite, isolated from the world. According to legend, the Saudeleur rulers used the city as a seat of supernatural power, where they ruled with an iron grip, wielding dark forces to keep their people in line. But there's another layer to this mystery. Nan Madol disrupts magnetic fields. In certain parts of the city, compasses spin wildly as if controlled by an invisible force. Scientists attribute this to volcanic rocks, but for many, it raises darker questions. Was Nan Madol built over a source of unknown energy? Is it still pulsing beneath the ancient stones, waiting to be understood or unleashed? Why would an ancient society go to such lengths, building a fortress in the ocean with stones they should not have been able to move? Why this place, with its strange, haunting energies and colossal stones? For now, Nan Madol keeps its secrets buried in those heavy basalt walls and silent coral paths. It is a mystery that seems determined to stay unsolved, as if guarding a truth too disturbing to reveal. Section 6. Easter Island's Moai, Chile. Imagine discovering colossal statues as large as buildings, yet isolated on one of the most remote islands in the world. That's the reality of Easter Island's famous Moai, a collection of over 900 massive stone figures scattered across this small island in the Pacific. Each Moai stands between 13 and 33 feet tall, some even reaching 70 tons in weight. They seem to stare out at the ocean with solemn, mysterious expressions, their silent gazes fixed on the horizon. Who built these giants? And why did they dedicate generations to carving, moving, and positioning them? The people who created the Moai, the Rapa Nui, lived in isolation from the rest of the world. With limited resources and no draft animals or wheels to aid them, they somehow transported these monolithic figures from their quarry to various sites across the island, some up to 11 miles away. The sheer logistics of moving such enormous stones have baffled researchers, but theories suggest they might have used a walking technique, tilting and rocking the statues upright. But how could a society with so few resources spare the energy to complete such massive projects? The Moai were more than statues. They represented ancestors, holding spiritual significance for the Rapa Nui. Carved from volcanic rock, these figures were believed to embody the power and protection of past chiefs and were carefully placed to face inland, watching over the people. Yet their purpose may have also been more practical. Some researchers believe the Moai served as territorial markers or even symbols of control, a reminder of the ruling chief's power. But there's another layer to this mystery. Why did the Rapa Nui abruptly stop building and moving the Moai? Some researchers believe the society suffered an environmental collapse brought on by deforestation and resource depletion. Others, however, think the Moai construction was halted by a civil conflict or a shift in spiritual beliefs. Was it a sudden catastrophe, or did the society gradually change, leaving these enigmatic statues as a reminder of a lost era? Section 7. Serapeum of Saqqara, Egypt. This is the enigma of the Serapeum of Saqqara, a sprawling labyrinth carved deep beneath the sands of Egypt. Discovered in 1850, the Serapeum houses over 20 enormous granite and limestone sarcophagi, each weighing between 70 and 100 tons, carefully placed in chambers throughout the complex. But here's the strangest part. Although these boxes appear designed to contain something of incredible significance, they were found completely empty. So what was their purpose? Many theories surround the origins and function of the Serapeum. Some suggest it was constructed as a burial place for the Apis bulls, animals sacred to the god Ptah and believed to carry divine power. The Apis bull was worshipped in ancient Egypt, seen as a physical manifestation of the gods on earth. But if the sarcophagi were meant for these bulls, why go to such great lengths to make each box so massive, perfectly polished, and sealed with such precision that even modern tools would struggle to achieve? The technical skill displayed at the Serapeum is mind-boggling. Carving and polishing granite to this degree requires tools that can cut into some of the hardest stone on Earth. Even with today's technology, such precision is challenging. Each box fits tightly within its chamber, almost like it was custom-made to leave no room for error. The walls are so smooth and flat that they almost seem machined. Was it simply the skill of ancient Egyptian craftsmen, or were they using techniques that we don't fully understand today? And then there's the question of why these sarcophagi were left empty. Some researchers propose that these chambers could have served a purpose beyond our understanding, perhaps as part of a ritual or energy storage. Others speculate about hidden contents that might have been looted in antiquity, though no evidence of break-ins has ever been found. Section 8. Masuda no Iwafune, Japan. Hidden in Japan's Asuka region is a 26-foot-wide stone structure shaped like a ship but with no clear explanation. Masuda no Iwafune, an ancient monolith, continues to baffle archaeologists and locals alike with its strange form and mysterious origins. Located near Asuka village, this massive stone ship measures 36 feet long, 26 feet wide, and 15 feet high, with a flat top featuring 2 rectangular holes and a raised ridge that runs through the center. But despite extensive study, no one has been able to explain why it was created or even what it represents. Some believe Masuda no Iwafune was intended to be a tomb, but there are no burial chambers or artifacts suggesting that it was ever used for such a purpose. Others think it could have served as a religious or ceremonial site, a place where ancient rituals were conducted. The Asuka region is known for its links to early Japanese spirituality, and several unusual stone structures found nearby hint at a culture with highly symbolic practices. But why would they go to such lengths to create a structure that resembles a ship, carved from solid rock? And what significance did this stone ship hold for them? Some local legends claim that Masuda no Iwafune is a vessel meant to guide spirits, while others believe it was crafted to honor celestial beings or gods. A more speculative theory even suggests it may have been an ancient form of astronomical observatory, though there's little evidence to support this. Could this ancient structure have been aligned with the stars, or was it intended for some other lost ritual? Or was it simply a forgotten artistic expression of the early Asuka period? Why would a civilization pour so much effort into creating something so unique and enigmatic? With no clear purpose and no similar structures elsewhere in Japan, Masuda no Iwafune remains an unsolved mystery, a silent monolith standing watch over the Japanese landscape, holding secrets that continue to baffle historians and archaeologists alike. Section 9. Menga Dolmen, Spain. The Menga Dolmen in Spain is no ordinary ancient tomb. It doesn't even face the direction you'd expect. Unlike most Neolithic monuments, which align with the sunrise or sunset, Menga is oriented toward a nearby mountain called La Peña de los Enamorados. This unusual alignment has left archaeologists scratching their heads, as it challenges the traditional idea that these structures were always built in harmony with celestial patterns. Why would the builders of Menga break this ancient rule, and what was so important about this mountain? The dolmen itself is a marvel of prehistoric engineering. Built around 3500 BCE, it's constructed from massive stone slabs, with the largest estimated to weigh around 180 tons. These stones form a long corridor leading to a circular chamber, creating a space that feels both imposing and mysterious. But what stands out is that, unlike similar structures, Menga's entrance isn't positioned to welcome the light of the rising sun. Instead, it faces La Peña de los Enamorados, a mountain that, according to local legend, resembles a sleeping face. Was there a symbolic connection between the dolmen and this mountain? Did the ancient builders feel the mountain held some kind of power? One possible clue lies in the well discovered inside the dolmen, a feature highly unusual for a tomb. This deep, hand-dug well, located within the structure, suggests that the site may have been more than just a burial chamber. Some researchers believe it may have had ritualistic or spiritual significance, perhaps involving water as a symbol of life and death. But what kind of rituals might have been performed here, and why did they need access to water in a burial site? The Menga Dolmen's alignment and design suggest a purpose that extends beyond the conventional burial site. Could it have served as a place of pilgrimage or a center for ancient rituals? Or was it a deliberate attempt to harness some mystical connection to the nearby mountain? To this day, Menga Dolmen remains one of Europe's most intriguing ancient monuments, standing as a silent witness to beliefs and practices we can only guess at, its secrets locked within its stone walls. Section 10. Borobudur Temple, Indonesia. Towering over the dense jungles of central Java, Borobudur Temple is an ancient marvel that baffles and captivates all who visit. Built in the 9th century, this massive stone structure seems almost impossible for its time. It stands as the largest Buddhist temple in the world, with over 2 million stone blocks intricately arranged to form a structure that stretches more than 400 feet across and rises 9 levels high. But here's the mystery. Despite being one of the largest stone structures ever built, there are no records of how Borobudur was constructed. How did ancient builders with no modern machinery create something so precise, complex, and massive? As visitors walk through its levels, they encounter over 500 Buddha statues and nearly 2,700 panels that tell stories from Buddhist scripture, each one carved with intricate detail. These panels aren't just decorative, they're a series of lessons in morality and enlightenment, winding upward as if guiding visitors on a spiritual journey. But no one knows why Borobudur was designed this way, with stories that only reveal themselves as one ascends. Some believe the temple was meant to be a gigantic mandala, a spiritual diagram that leads the soul toward enlightenment. Could it be that Borobudur was designed to guide people through mystical teachings? Or did its creators intend it as a map to something else entirely? Adding to the intrigue, Borobudur's structure aligns almost perfectly with Mount Merapi, one of Indonesia's most active and dangerous volcanoes, and Mount Sumbing, forming a triangle. This alignment has fueled speculation that Borobudur was built not just as a place of worship, but as a way to harness the region's powerful volcanic energy. The volcano itself has erupted many times, yet somehow Borobudur has survived nearly unscathed. Was this alignment an accident, or did the builders possess some knowledge about the forces of nature that we've lost over time? And then there's the question of Borobudur's sudden abandonment. Sometime in the 14th century, the temple was mysteriously deserted and swallowed by the jungle, only to be rediscovered hundreds of years later. Section 11. Longyu Caves, China. In 1992, a group of curious villagers in Zhejiang, China, decided to pump water from a small pond, hoping to find a fish supply. What they uncovered instead defied all expectations: a vast network of massive, intricately carved caves lying beneath the surface. Known today as the Longyu Caves, these immense chambers stretch over 30,000 square meters, with walls and ceilings covered in precise, uniform carvings that suggest some unknown purpose and incredible labor. But here's the enigma. No ancient records mention the caves, their purpose, or even their construction. Who created these enormous subterranean spaces and why? The sheer size of the Longyu Caves is staggering. So far, 24 individual caves have been discovered, each measuring about 30 meters in height and featuring smooth, flat walls that look almost machined. Experts estimate that over 1 million cubic meters of rock would have been removed to create this labyrinth, an effort that would have required an enormous workforce and advanced tools. Yet, not a single artifact, tool, or piece of debris has been found within the caves, making it seem as if the builders left no trace of their existence. This lack of evidence raises the haunting question: were these caves meant to be seen or hidden? Even the detailed carvings covering every surface add to the mystery. Rows of parallel lines cover the walls and ceilings in what appears to be a deliberate pattern, repeated consistently throughout the caves. Some speculate these patterns might hold symbolic meaning, perhaps even a coded message or form of ancient language. Others think they could be decorative. But why put so much effort into detailed work in an underground space that seems hidden from view? Could the carvings be part of a lost ritual, or were they meant to store information now indecipherable to us? The design of the Longyu Caves also defies conventional wisdom about ancient architecture. The chambers are vast, yet they remain structurally sound, showing no signs of collapse after centuries. Some believe this indicates advanced knowledge of engineering principles, far beyond what should have been possible at the time. The cave's durability and precision have led to theories suggesting that the Longyou builders may have used techniques and materials that are lost to history, or even technology that rivals our own. Section 12. The Yonaguni Monument, Japan. The Yonaguni Monument, a massive stone formation hidden beneath the ocean, raises a stunning question. Could this be one of the oldest structures on Earth? With its stepped platforms and sharp corners, the monument seems to defy natural explanation. Discovered by a diver in 1987, this massive underwater formation consists of what appear to be terraced steps, sharp corners, and flat surfaces that seem almost impossibly precise for a natural formation. The structure, which spans over 150 meters, plunges down to depths of around 27 meters below sea level, creating an eerie sight that has baffled scientists, divers, and historians. One of the most striking aspects of the Yonaguni Monument is its uncanny resemblance to man-made architecture. Towering at heights of up to 40 feet in places, the monument displays distinct geometric shapes, flat platforms, and near-perfect right angles that seem deliberately carved. But here's the catch. If the structure is indeed human-made, it would date back to an astonishing 10,000 years ago, a time when sea levels were lower and the area was above water. This would make it one of the oldest stone structures on Earth, thousands of years older than the pyramids of Giza. How could such a sophisticated structure have been built so far back in history, and by whom? Researchers are divided over the monument's origins. Some believe it is a natural formation shaped by seismic activity, ocean currents, and natural erosion. They argue that the rock's sandstone composition is particularly prone to splitting into angular shapes. However, others insist that the monument's features are too precise to be coincidental, suggesting that it was carved by an unknown civilization. Was this an ancient temple, an early city, or even an astronomical observatory? Or are we merely seeing what we want to see, a product of nature's power misinterpreted as human craftsmanship? Adding to the mystery are the strange carvings some divers report finding on the monument's surfaces, including what seem to be depictions of animals and humanoid figures. Are these truly carvings or natural grooves in the stone? If they are indeed carvings, it could point to an unknown ancient culture with artistic skills and a worldview now completely lost to history. Section 13. Lalibela Rock Churches, Ethiopia. In the highlands of Ethiopia lies one of the most astounding architectural feats on Earth, the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela. These are no ordinary churches. They are carved entirely from solid rock, descending into the earth with intricate designs and elaborate detail. Constructed during the 12th century, each church was hewn from a single slab of volcanic rock, creating freestanding structures with roofs, walls, and doorways all carved in one piece. How could ancient craftsmen achieve such precision with only basic tools? And why did they choose such an intense, almost impossible method of construction? Legend has it that these churches were built with divine help. According to Ethiopian tradition, King Lalibela commissioned the churches after receiving a vision instructing him to create a new Jerusalem in Ethiopia. The story goes further, claiming that angels assisted the workers, completing what would otherwise have been a decades-long project in mere days. But whether or not you believe the legend, the sheer effort involved in carving these rock churches without modern technology is hard to comprehend. The most famous of the 11 churches is the Church of St. George, shaped like a massive cross and set deep into the earth, its roof level with the ground above. Seen from above, it resembles a giant symbol carved into the landscape. The other churches are connected by a maze of narrow passageways, tunnels, and trenches that are disorienting and designed, some say, to resemble Jerusalem itself. But was this maze purely symbolic, or did it have a practical or ritualistic purpose? Adding to the mystery, the architecture of the Lalibela churches shows influences from across the ancient world, including Byzantine, Aksumite, and even possible connections to Coptic Christian designs. How did these styles reach the remote highlands of Ethiopia, and why were they chosen? Did Ethiopia have unknown contacts with distant civilizations, or was the influence more symbolic? Despite centuries of study, the exact methods used to create these incredible churches remain unclear. Was there an ancient, now lost technique at work here? Or was it the product of tireless labor over generations? Today, Lalibela stands as a stunning and mysterious reminder of Ethiopia's rich history, its rock churches still active as places of worship, their ancient walls echoing with prayers that have spanned centuries. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe for more interesting content. Check out another interesting video by clicking on the video appearing on your screen right now.